Coming to you from the historic Hart Building in Marysville, California, in Studio 93, In the Tank with Fish, with your host, Bob Fischetti.
So today for Out of the Tank, we're actually out at the Hard Rock, and we're going to be talking with Randy Maddocks. And Randy Maddocks, we've had him in the tank. Randy does all the entertainment at the Hard Rock, and because they've been here 4 years, which I didn't realize had been that long, we're going to talk a little bit about what it's like if you're a band that comes here, our solo artist, what it's like, what the green room's like, what the stage is like, the sound, and how the venue works, and then just some kind of personal stories with Randy. He's got some great stories about meeting different artists, so we'll be talking about that. So without further ado, a welcome to the Hard Rock. And all right, this is going to be a little different because I've had the pleasure having Randy Maddocks, who does all the entertainment out at the Hard Rock. I've had him in the podcast room. Now he's got me in his much larger podcast room called Hard Rock Live. This actually seats 2,500 people. I came in, I have never seen it like this. I didn't realize you could open this is amazing.
Well, we just had a full floor general admission standing room only show last Thursday with Dayseeker, which happened to break our all-time ticket sales record.
What?
2846. Beat out Biba Doobie finally, so we can stop talking about Biba Doobie.
Yeah, she's gonna get her feelings hurt, but
yeah, but the risers usually come all the way out here, and there's 900 seats here, so we pushed it all the way back, and we had almost 3,000 people in here. Standing room only, and then the upstairs was open. But that was last Thursday. We killed it, man. We had a great day.
Now, who was that?
Dayseeker. And they've opened here before as a support act, I believe, for Pierce the Veil, who sold out the room too. So they were on their national headline tour, and there was 3 other bands. So we had 4 bands. Show started at 7. We got out of here at 11. There's almost 3,000 people on a Thursday night. So that was just last week. So we're left. That's why it's left this way. Today we're setting up for a trade show with PG&E.
Wow.
I believe it's PG&E on Thursday, and then we gotta clear everything out of here, put up the risers down, put all the seats down. And I have a Vietnamese show.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, Icons Live. We haven't had a Vietnamese show in almost 2 years, or a little over 2 years. And then Saturday we have the Human League with Soft Cell and Allison Moyette from Yaz.
Yeah.
She's the lead singer of Yaz. So that's going to be a total 80s throwback for me.
I'm Soft Cell. I just have to say
Tainted
that.
Love. Yeah.
Tainted Love. Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm excited about that one. And we're double dipping in the area, talk about everything we have going on all the time. Toyota Amphitheater has a show on Saturday as well with Pitbull. And that's completely sold out. So imagine 18,000 people Saturday, 2,500 people here, same time. And when we had Pitbull, there was only 2,500 people in here. So he can do our room, and then he's out there doing 18,000 people.
Does that ever happen, Randy, where you're booking the same band in both venues?
Well, obviously, yeah. We've had some shows in here that have also been next door. Like Collective Soul was with Live, I think last summer or 2 summers ago. We had Collective Soul in here on their own. We were trying to get Live on their own, but then they went out together. We've had the Doobie Brothers in here. There was Santana this year. There's been some bands. We've had them here and there. 3 Doors Down was here, and then they went and opened for Nickelback, I think. Yeah, I was at that show, I believe, if I remember right. But yeah, no. What we try not to do, though, is we try not to have double bookings on the same day, but just based off calendars and when tours are available or what Live Nation's got going on, we almost kind of can't help it sometimes. But like this Saturday, though, Wheatland is on the map, baby. Like there's an 18,000 seat sold out Pitbull show. We got an 80s new wave group, coming in for our tour too. So it's exciting.
My son, him and I were talking about the music, and Pablo, he programs everything at 93Q. And he's been out here for cover bands or tribute bands. And him and I actually came out to one together that you let us come out to. And he said, that's the bomb. He said he likes the original artist, but you guys have these bands. He said it might be bands you're never going to see.
Yeah.
And the artist, and so I asked him about the Bee Gees. I said, I think Randy told me they've been out here 3 times.
Their 4th time, 4 years in a row, coming up in 2 weeks on the 12th.
That's just amazing.
Yeah, I love those guys. I've been booking them since 2011, 2010, something like that. And they're from Canada, and they make their way out west usually once a year, and I usually get them every time. But yeah, I've booked them in Tucson, Ohio, here now. And we'll have 2,000 people here. There's paid customers. We're giving out the tickets to players that qualify. It's a party, and they are the best thing, honestly. That there's several Bee Gees groups, but I'm not being biased by any means. They are number one in my opinion. And they recreate the whole show. They got the different outfit changes. The guy hits the falsetto like Barry Gibb. Yeah. Like, their harmonies are awesome. They have great video content. They even show the SNL clip with Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake playing Barry and Gibb and the Barry Gibb talk show. It's really cool. It's a great show. I'm excited about that one too.
Well, I wanted to mention this. My wife and I have been out for several shows, and we always sit upstairs because she has a wheelchair. But there is not a bad seat, sound-wise. There's no bad seats here.
No.
So if somebody buys a ticket, I don't care where they sit, they're going to see a great show.
Well, we've even had people see artists at other places, right? Like Jason Bonham was just here a couple weeks ago. He's played the area, he's played our competitor, he's played other markets. And their crew themselves were like, this is the best room we've played, and we can't wait to come back. Like, we're spoiled to be here today.
Wow.
And I was like, man, that's awesome. It's good to hear. So that's when I'm like, I got to get you back as soon as possible. That makes sense. Or at least get them an offer so we can get them booked, and they're not going anywhere else the next time they come through town. So.
Yeah, I just want to say in my conversations with Randy, this is the guy that has to go through all the whatever you have to go through to get artists here. And I don't want to say that artists can sometimes be difficult, and I'm not going to ask Randy for any stories, but sometimes it's not easy. And even sometimes you'll have, like, Brian Setzer was sick and couldn't make it. So you get a band booked, they can't make it, then you got to either scramble to get somebody else or do whatever. This guy, he never sleeps. Oh. He's planning on, when he finally passes away, he's going to get some sleep.
Well, I'll give you a good example. It just happened today, right before you guys got here. At 6:30 in the morning, I get an email saying that the show that we were announcing this morning needed to be postponed for a future announcement, even though the date's going to stay the same for unforeseen circumstances. I'm like, what does that mean? And you're emailing me at 6:30 in the morning. And so I had to call my guys, take it down, don't post it. But we'll hopefully re-announce the show that was announced for November 8th. If you pay attention online, you'll know who I'm talking about if you look it up. But it's going to be a really cool classic rock show once we finally really announce it and get it going. So
he's got Earth, Wind, and Fire is coming. And then he's also got Leonid and Friends who do Earth, Wind, and Fire and Vehicle and Chicago and Tower of Power. And
they're great. They've really expanded. They used to just do Chicago. Now their vocals and their band arrangements are amazing. They do everybody now.
I saw them at the Crest, and at that time, I think it was before they got the girl vocalist, which has made a difference. But man, that is a great band.
Yeah, we're excited. It's selling really well. It's not until November, and I barely advertised it, and they're well on their way to maybe being a sold-out show.
I have to tell you, 93Q, because of my son, you'll be here in Chicago, and the very next song will be these guys, not playing the same song, but So when they have to shift this, how often, Randy, does this happen where you got this kind of shift happening between a concert or a trade show? Because this is open area.
Pretty frequently. I mean, we have, well, like in April, we had 11 shows, and we were flipping the room around quite a bit. In September, we're going to have a lot of shows, plus the Beale Air Force Base Ball up in here.
That's right.
And then we have a couple other events. October, I got a lot of shows, and then Pinktober, and then getting into the holiday season, we're going to go from holiday parties to concerts, back and forth, back and forth. The challenge is if a banquet event goes late, or maybe they have like a DJ or a band or something, they're in here partying until 11 o'clock or midnight, and then we have a show the next day. Like, our cleaning crew has to come in, get everything nice and good to go. Our facilities guys come in, our techs, our entertainment stagehands and guys will come in and reset the room, because then we got to load in at 8 a.m. usually for a show that night, and we got to be ready to go. We can't have distractions going on. Sometimes when we have an MMA fight in here, it's a whole nother challenge. The seats not only have to just come out, they have to be put down completely different. We're building a ring and a boxing truss and putting seats on stage. That could take all day. That's why we usually need a day before to be able to do that. You go in an arena and they do it all the time, right? They're going from basketball to a concert to hockey and things like that or whatever, but they just have massive crews. We don't have two separate crews that can come in overnight and then come back in the morning. I have a small amount of guys, and we have a small amount of availability from our partners. A good example is, again, this Saturday, Toyota has a show. We have a show. We use the same people. We have the same runners. A lot of the same stage guys will work. They're probably going to work here for a little while, and then they're going to go over there, and then they're going to come back. That happens a little bit when we have shows, and they get excited because we have shows all year long, and then the season at Toyota gives them extra hours and time. So that economic development and that community partnership and employment opportunities for an entertainment group is great. You know, they used to just have to work out here during the summer and then go find a gig at Ace of Spades or down at the arena or go to the Bay Area. Now it's all year long. Our same team's been working here for 4 years. Our outsourced team, our ushers, ticket takers, mostly the same people, which is great. A lot of our customers that come back for the shows, they see the same ushers, see the same people scanning their tickets. So it's like they're part of the team. They got name badges. It doesn't say their favorite band. It says Usher, which could be their favorite band or their favorite artist. I don't know, but it's, you know, I don't have my favorite artist either on my badge, but there are a lot of the other team members
killers,
do.
And they'd wonder about you.
Yeah, killers.
So kind of walk us through if a band like either a band or an artist comes in, what's kind of the process that they do when they come in? Because you said that they might show up at 8 o'clock in the morning for a show that night. Yeah, I mean, obviously we're in the main room right now, but where Jeremy, one of our techs, just came out of, this, you know, the load-in area is right back here. So that's usually the first step. The production guys will come in. They'll do a walk and chalk, and they'll just kind of look at the room, see how things are set up. So this is a base setup of the stage, and then we just go nuts. You know, we have trucks that back up to the loading dock, which I'll show you here in a minute. It's chaos. It looks like chaos, but it's organized chaos because, you know, I never realized, when you're out there looking, you don't realize how big that stage is.
It is big.
It's huge.
And we can come out. We have more pieces. It's portable. Look, under there you can see some more of it. We can move it out this far. We can go that way. We have a show coming up in November, actually, that I have to make the stage bigger, and I'm losing 2 to 3 rows of seats.
Because of that.
In order to get the show. So we're, you know, some folks are going to pay a little bit more money for the really nice seats, but we have to do that, because the artist that's playing in here doesn't play rooms this small usually. And it's one of those shows where the stage and the production is just as important as the music. So that's going to be a big show for us. We've been trying to get this artist for a while. That'll be announced soon, November 20th. Look forward to that. But yeah, and then we do quick change rooms where they change costumes and whatever right here. Usually where we're at right here is where the guitar world is, where their guitar tech has all their guitars hanging out right here, and they get them ready to go, and then they just bring them up on stage. And on the other side of the stage is monitor world, where the microphones and everybody on stage that has speakers facing them, they hear what's going on. We have a tech for that. Then we have our front of house guys and our light guys and our catwalks upstairs. And
where do they actually mix the sound from?
Front of house, where Jeremy's at. It's usually not that far back. Usually it's forward more, but because we have the trade show today, we can move it back. But yeah, and then we have
they did such a great job of mixing. I always wondered where are those guys at, because
they're hiding out over there usually. And then my video guy actually is hiding out in the corner over there. You would never know he's here, but we have a guy on our team that operates a crew that manages the cameras and all the content on the video walls, even if it's just graphics and things like that, or if it's live feed. That's his job, Adrian's job.
You guys have won a lot of awards for this.
Yeah.
And so when you were talking about an artist that normally doesn't play a small venue, their people got to know that venue's won awards. Or, I mean, is that part of, I mean, they want to play places that they feel like.
I would hope, and I think, at least when I'm talking, I mean, those are selling points.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our partners at Live Nation, other agents that we work with that have actually come and visited the venue, they know firsthand. But then, you know, we have to convince some people. So they can go online, they can look at our photos. We get concert photos for every show. Our website's pretty detailed. If you have a Polestar account, which is like the industry Bible, you can look up our history, you can look up our contacts, you can look up our average ticket sales, average attendance, things like that. And then on top of all that, like I said, we get photos taken. So like, if there's an artist with a certain agency that hasn't been here yet, and I'll send them a link and say, hey, check out Pitbull's pictures from last time. We can clearly do this show. The stage is dope. The room is cool. The photograph's great. Here's my farthest seat away. Here's our closest seat. Here's a picture of front of house. Here's a picture of what the merch area looks like. Like, we have to really get into it.
I don't want your job.
Here's our dress. Well,
it's already too much work.
Here's our dressing rooms. Yeah. You know, here's our backstage area, which we'll go look at here in a second. But like, you have to do some convincing. And then, because the Hard Rock brand is international, people know it.
Yeah.
Every theater now that's being built that's brand new is state of the art.
Mm-hmm.
But some just don't operate the same. Some still don't sound the same. Some don't really consider the fan focus first. They're just worried about the building. That's why a lot of arenas now are being built concert first, and then a basketball second. Or a new theater that's being built in town they're focusing on the live music portion of it, while the trade show stuff and other speaking events and things like that are secondhand. They also don't consider what type of venue, if they want it mobile and kind of movable like we have, where we can do anything in here, a multi-purpose room. Other people decide to do a stationary, static theater where they're not doing much in there besides a show or a corporate event. So...
Well, you have the advantage, too, of having 2,500 seats and food steps away.
Absolutely.
Not every place has all that available.
Yeah. I mean, I go to a lot of shows around the country, and I've been places where there's nothing to do right around where you're at. You got to go somewhere and then figure out how to get downtown to go. And you have to prep and to spend a whole evening here. You arrive an hour and a half early, you go to eat, and you go to the show. So it's kind of nice, and there's free parking. So some places you got to figure out where to park, how to pay for parking, how far I got to walk, am I taking public transportation, etc. Does Uber even come out here, that kind of stuff. But I go to shows all the time, and what I try to tell people is I'm a fan first, and I treat this venue as if I'm a fan. And would I come see a show here? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And why would I come see a show? Well, because of the way it's built, the way it's gone, the ticket pricing's reasonable, it's accessible, free parking, easy to get in and out. There's a lot of things that come into play, and most people don't go see as many shows as I do. This is my life, so I don't just work. I like just last week I saw 4 shows. So it's all about how the fan experience is to me, and that's why I take the time to go out and say hello to people that might be in line all day long for a GA show, or ask them if they're okay or where they come from. I like to know these things. Is this your first time here? We really get into it. I'm not just the only one either. My whole team does that, and I think they appreciate hearing from people because they're also music fans, But let's go back here, and I can show you kind of what we got going on.
His name.
Yeah, this is our backstage kind of catering, back of house area. The artists will hang out and have dinner here all day long, or like Day Seeker guys are back here playing board games. They watch the basketball games on stage. We got 5 dressing rooms. And we got our autograph wall since day one. We're really running out of room. I got to start wrapping this around finally. Speaking of which,
so they all come in and sign this?
Oh yeah, I mean, look, Day Seeker right up here, sold out 5/28/26.
Wow.
So that's the newest one, right? And then you can't see it anymore, but this is Maroon 5.
The very first one.
Everyone signed all over it. Sabrina Carpenter was here, so she signed twice actually. She signed here and up there. She got on her shoulders of her security. So we've had a lot of great people in here.
The Weirdos band?
Yeah, actually, like some of it I couldn't even tell you who it is anymore. Some of it are cool, like they bring in their stencils or they take the time to draw. This is Chris Rock, but you would never know that. I just know that because that's where it was. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have dressing rooms here.
Well, there's Pablo Cruz.
Yeah. This is one of the dressing rooms we have. There's 3 of these types. They all have showers and bathrooms, so they don't have to go anywhere.
So this is the equivalent of like a green room.
Yeah.
So when you've gone in, like you told me the story about when you had Smokey Robinson in, so he was in one of these rooms, and you just went in.
He was right down here, yeah. He was in the door right here where I have it open. This is a slightly different one. So that's more vanity style. So like if there's dancers and people on wardrobe and things like that. But yeah, no, Smokey was right here. I hung out with Smokey. We had the TV on and whatever, he wanted the Alabama football game on or something like that. And I came in and just hung out with him. So it's very simple and cleaned out right now. But every show we're setting up whatever they want in their room. We put stuff on the walls, make it look nice. Sometimes we have to paint the walls different color. Different furniture, we have to move furniture out if they don't want it all. Sometimes, if there's, Day Seeker had 4 bands, so we used every single one of these. So one band had one, and their production guys and the tour had their own dressing room. And then the headliner, Diana Ross, has been here a few times. She had a whole dressing room just for her wardrobe. And then the one right next to her was her actually dressing room. We've pipe and draped out here and just made more private space. And then going out the hallway here that goes back out to the venue, we've had to utilize space out there too. We've cleared all this stuff out before. When we do a fight back here, it's like a locker room.
Oh.
we have a red corner and a blue corner or whatever, and they're in here practicing and sparring on gymnasium mats, and it just smells like a locker room. And it's they're back here. Just
Cleanup crew has to come in after
testosterone's
that.
back here. There's towels and water everywhere. So, but yeah, this is where everyone kind of hangs out. So usually in the morning when the shows are starting, people will go find their dressing rooms. They'll come in. Maybe the crew wants to take a shower, or the bus driver. If they don't have a hotel room, not everybody gets hotel rooms. It's kind of up to the deal. And then most of the time, though, the artists will stay here anyway. They'll get their own rooms and stuff, but they'll go shower, they'll hang out, they'll come down when they need to. We bring people over here from back of house to the hotel so they don't have to go through the crowd.
Do you ever get guys that come in and go, I love this place,
yes.
just because of that?
I remember this place. Night Rangers coming back, right? And we were here before 2 years ago, and they're going to come in and be like, oh, yeah, I remember this place.
I told you I met the lead singer, right?
Yeah.
He's working in a men's clothing store, and he comes in, got a girl on each arm, right? And he said, he's talking to me. He said, you don't know who I am? And I said, no. And he said, I'm the lead singer from Night Ranger. And at that time, I loved music. Yeah. But Randy, I didn't know who that was.
He's Mr. Sister Christian.
Yeah.
So you don't need to know his name.
I was embarrassed because I didn't. But anyway, we talked for a while. Great guy.
Oh, that's cool. So we're all kind of self-contained as far as my team goes. We have our box office marketing and entertainment manager in here. This used to actually just be a green room. When we first opened, we were in a different location. So we had to move over here because we made some space for our hosts to have offices. Our production team is in here. Carl's office is in here. And then we have a laundry room, which is like the favorite part of the whole entire day for most of the tours. They like to wash their clothes. And then my office.
What?
I'm in here. This used to be a tour production office. So we had our own production office for our guys, and then the tour would come in. There was countertops all along and a printer and everything in here. What's sad is my apartment kind of looks exactly the same. It's like I have a hotel room that I stay in, and then I come to work and I'm in an office inside a hotel.
Now, you told me a story about George Thorogood coming in and just kind of sitting on your desk, just rapping with you.
Sat right here in the corner. I was in here, a couple other people were in here, and he just thanked us and said he had a great day and couldn't wait to come back, and appreciated having a show on a Tuesday when it was extremely professional. Good crowd turned out. The show was great. He loved the showroom. But the stuff that's on the wall in here is really replaceable for the most part. I do pop things in and out, but if you're looking at like what's my favorite, it's the stuff right above my desk.
Yeah.
Obviously we had our first show, Chris Rock. We've had the Killers twice. The Ludacris show. So those three posters were custom made. The rest of them were kind of branded. And Kevin Hart was great. And then we had Sting here twice. And I have a couple other things from Vegas when they shut down that were given to me. But I pop these in and out. And
you actually have a surfboard the Beach Boys signed?
Yes.
How did you get that? How in the world did that happen?
It's not a real surfboard. It's a piece of particle board or foam board. But so when I was in Arizona at the Quechan Casino, which I opened up, we had the Beach Boys and of course just Brian and Mike, or Bruce and Mike, tour together I got those, and then I had Brian Wilson solo at the Rocksino in Ohio years later, and Al Jardine tours with Brian, and so I got the four of them total. Obviously Carl's passed away, but no, and we actually built, and this is beat up. I've had this in and out of my car everywhere I've moved since 2009.
Wow.
That's how old this thing is. So eventually I need to trim it up and frame it, because this is now kind of iconic. Since Brian's passed away, the Beach Boys are basically done. But we built 20 of these with the little easel back and put them on stage with fake palm trees for the show. And then afterwards I had them sign one for me. And then when we had them a couple years ago. We filmed the song live here after the show, and they actually signed real surfboards for our crew. But no, I've had this. This has been in and out of every car I've had since Yuma, Arizona 2009. So I need to kind of take care of it a little bit better.
I had a high school friend that I came out with that actually wrote music with Brian Wilson.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be on the Holland album, and it didn't happen. And then finally, that last album they released, Don's got 2 songs on there.
Yeah.
But he said he loved Brian Wilson. He said the guy was a genius, right? And the fact he got to hang out with him was a big deal, right?
Well, I met him, and he was just like what everybody kind of understood at the end of his life, or towards the end of his life. I mean, he was out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
As soon as he sat on stage and got behind a piano, light switch.
Oh, man.
He knew exactly what he was doing. Everything else during the meet and greets and backstage, he had to be kind of held around and shown where to go and things like that. I mean, he's old, and, and people age, but as soon as he popped on stage, man, he knew exactly what was up, and he sounded good and played and harmonized just like they used to, and it was really cool. I had a Christmas show with him and I had a solo show with him in Ohio. But yeah, no, this is where I'm at. I can turn the TV on. I can sit here and watch the entire show from my office if I want to.
Oh.
Normally, almost every time I go out and watch the first 3 songs, every show, every artist. Even
you had told me.
I go out there, I watch it, I want to feel it. And then if it's someone I really like I watch the entire Killer show from the box. Ludacris, Pitbull, Sting, Jay Leno. Like most of the comedians I actually go and watch. I love comedy, so I'll go out and watch the entire show. I watched most of Biba Doobie. She's up there. We've got some of the artists that are up here are coming back, which is cool. We had one of the last shows with Kelly Hansen from Foreigner. He's no longer with them.
Yeah, I heard that.
Ironically, the guitar player that was here for that, the next day was auditioning to be the lead singer here on property, and then they had to find a new guitar player. So the guy that's singing with him now was the guitar player. Now he's singing.
So now he's the vocal.
Yeah. And then I keep all those tour stickies. And then I have random stuff in here. You can see it. I'm not a big Funko Pop guy. These are the only ones I have. There's U2 ones, the little collectibles here. I got a Lenny Kravitz. So someone made one of me, which is very nice of them. That was my friend Kristen. She got that for my birthday. So that's actually me. You can create.
All right, I'm going to be careful because you got a box here that
That's clearly not as full as it should be. That's a day's worth.
Now, is Sting coming back again? You've had him a couple times,
I would
right?
love to have him back. No, we don't have him. He's on a tour still.
Oh, okay.
But no, we don't have any plans for having him this year. I mean, next year would be great. Crushed both times.
So sometimes they'll just call you, Randy, and say, hey, I played there before, I'd like to play again, or their management people will call you, and then you end up getting somebody that you already know has done well.
Yeah, or they'll ask us if we want them back, and depending on the timing, I have to say yes or no.
Oh, yeah.
And there's been a few times, Diana Ross, I'd love to have her back every day, but we had her twice, and then went to our competitor. And then she was looking to do some shows this fall, and I'm like, I'm already slammed. I can't add this show in a month where we're already got 12 other shows, and some of them are same demographics. I'm just asking a lot of the community and a lot of the audiences to shell out a decent amount of money to see some of these artists that we have coming through. So we have Earth, Wind, and Fire and Anthony Hamilton in the month of September, and that was really the only month I could get her. So I had to pass, which I didn't want to do, but I had to just because of the volume of similar artists. That's why we try really hard to kind of spread some stuff out. But April was crazy. We had 11 shows, and it was all the genres are all over the place. September, I'm going to have 11 shows, and 8 of those are in 11 days. So it's going to be like boom, boom, boom. In October, I got 5 in a row, starting on the 28th of October through the 1st of November. From Tom Jones is coming.
I saw that.
Which is awesome. I can't wait about that. I can't wait about that. One's gonna be dope. I've had him one other time in my life, and that was a long time ago, and he's still around, and he still
got a great voice.
Oh, he still crushes. Has a lot of energy still. But yeah, that's Halloween. On Halloween, we got Tom Jones. So if all the folks.
Do you know how old he is now?
He's old as hell. He's like 85 or something.
God.
I don't know. But
I'm 75, but I can't sing like that.
No, anybody that doesn't want to hand out candy on Halloween should come to see Tom Jones. So get out here, put your light on, put the bowl outside, say free for all, and then come see Tom Jones. But I'm going to have 5 shows in a row that week.
Are you going to check the women, make sure they don't have extra underwear to throw on the stage?
I've seen that. I've had to be the guy. I've cleaned up underwear on stage before. Gotta go grab them. I've had to do that before. Yeah.
That's not your favorite part of the job.
No.
How far out in advance do you guys book?
There's someone on this wall right now that I have a hold and an offer out for November of 2027. So it's out. It's out there a long ways.
So if an artist does want to do that and you're open, they can.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a national tour. Mm-hmm. If they're that far out, they're trying to plan a tour.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. But I mean, I have confirmed shows into March already of next year. Some repeats, if I wanted to, I could book Bee Gees right now and bring them back and announce it. for June of 2027 if I wanted to. But no, we have some repeat artists that are coming in January, February, March, and then I have holds through the summer. And I've got now that I think the state fair is moving to September next year, so that's going to be a competing issue because usually that's the height of the amphitheater season is August and September, and then we got our own bookings we're trying to do. So we're going to be competing against that next year. So the further out we can be, the better. I mean, Quarry Park and Rockland's doing a lot more than they've ever done before. Cal Expo's got stuff going on. Our Channel 24 Thunder Valley. Everyone around here got a lot going on. Golden One has a very busy concert year and some really great artists. So I'm planning on going down there quite often as things get going this summer. So it's going to be cool.
Historically, our area is big on country music and classic rock. But honestly, Randy, I get requests for 80s music more than anything. Yeah. I think 80s are very popular because it was such a broad spectrum.
Yeah, there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an 80s kid. I was born in late 70s, grew up in the 80s, have an older brother and sister. Whatever they were listening to is what I was listening to. Then I gradually got into my own stuff when I was in middle school. But I was just talking, my birthday was a week ago.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you very much. And I was just talking to some folks. I was like, I gotta build my vinyl collection because I really don't have a whole lot. Like, where do I start? So I was like, I'm going to start in 1991. I was a freshman in high school. It's like very influential year for me in music. So I'm like, who do I go out and get? I got to get Lenny Kravitz, his second album. That's how I got into him. And his second album, that's one with Always on the Run and Mama Said and some other stuff that were on that album. And then Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Chili Peppers, like
Soundgarden.
U2, Soundgarden, like all my favorites had their biggest albums in 91. So like I got to start there, I guess, and go from there. But but the 80s are great. I mean, that's why it's exciting for me, for this Saturday with Human League. And I love those guys, and so, I wish there was more of those artists that would go out and about. I wish Robert Palmer was still alive. I love him. Wish Billy Squier would tour.
Yeah.
We get these 80s Totally Tubular and Lost 80s tours that go around. Those are cool. They all come out and do their one or two hits. One of my favorite shows we did here is Men Without Hats was like the third opener. It's my favorite part of the whole entire night. I didn't care about Squeeze or anybody else. I was like, Men Without Hats, the safety dance. Let's do
I was going to say safety dance.
Yeah, man. I was like, this is going to be awesome. And it was. It was. I was like super cool, excited. And that's why I like when we did I Love the 90s hip hop show. I mean, we had Milli Vanilli here and Color Me Bad and Vanilla Ice. That tour will add Young MC, Tone Loc, CNC Music Factory, all this like fun party hip hop stuff that came out in the 80s that I loved, So, and I know every word of that stuff. So, Digital Underground, the Humpty Dance, and all that stuff. I know all of the karaoke specials. So, but I love having those groups because it's nostalgic for me. As I would think, like, people who are Led Zeppelin fans that never got to see Led Zeppelin or did see Led Zeppelin, and then we have Jason Bonham here.
Oh, my gosh.
They are Led Zeppelin at this point. The show they put together is a Led Zeppelin show. I mean, even the guitar player looks like Jimmy Page. It's a little weird. Everyone else crushes, and they found the right lead singer. And Jason, of course, tells the stories and just honors his family, and Led Zeppelin is his family, So it's a great experience for people who got to see the real thing back in the day. I didn't, and then so I get to see the next best thing. And then some of the comedians that have been around forever that are still touring. Jay Leno doesn't need to tour. I was in LA for a conference, and that dude was playing a comedy club with Eliza Schlesinger and Howie Mandel. I paid $30. I got to see all three of them do 30-minute sets for $30 at the Comedy Store when I was in LA, and they do that all the time. They just pop in, and then they go make their big money on the weekends and do their big shows.
I just saw an interview with Jeff Foxworthy, and he was talking about, people think comedy, we just stand up there and it just comes out. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I guess he's doing a special with Fox.
On
Whatever.
TV?
Yeah.
Like
so he's
Jeff Foxworthy on Fox.
Yeah. So that was it. They said, who else would you expect?
Yeah.
But he was talking about, he was on Gutfield, and he was talking about it's a lot of work. Yeah. Comedy people put hours and hours and hours. So I guess they're going to do a behind the scenes.
Okay.
So that people can see that. He said, I'll do the special if you guys do behind the scenes.
Yeah, where they're practicing the material. I mean, even when I was there, actually, the host of that night was practicing material for the Kevin Hart roast. So I was like, oh, okay. She's like, hey, we're going to try a bunch of jokes you probably won't hear on TV. see if these work. And she did a bunch, and a couple audiences clapping. The other ones didn't say anything. She's like, all right, we'll cut that one out, that kind of stuff. And they were all practicing for Netflix as a joke, which is a big festival on Netflix.
Yeah.
And they just were playing, and they just come out and do their 30 minutes, try some new jokes. He said some stuff I've heard before, but it was cool, man.
Do the comedians, in terms of seats, people fill in the seats, the comedians do relatively well as opposed to bands? I mean, because you have a mix of everything. Yeah. You're going to see comedy, like you said, you got the fights that end up here and that. And so I just wonder, I mean, certain comedians everybody's heard of, right?
Well, yeah, and other ones, you hear their name, and you're like, who is that? And then you see their face, because you've seen them on a podcast, or you've seen them on TV. It's like, I know who Stavros is. Who's Stavros Halkias? Oh, yeah, I've seen him on this show or that show, right? Or whatever. Shang Wang is another one. Like, people wouldn't know who the heck he is, but he opened up for Ali Wong, and she produced his special. He's been doing touring for a while. So comedy is pretty much a bread and butter for a venue of our size or in a casino, because the production's low. It's very low cost usually. They don't travel with a bunch of people. They usually are real simple with what they want in their green rooms and what they want for dinner. Minimal amount of hotel rooms. Jay will fly in and fly out. He doesn't stay usually, unless he's going coast to coast. But if he's in California, he'll pop in his plane and fly out, do the show, leave. Tim Allen just did the same thing. But I love the comedy shows because they're easy to deal with. They make good money usually. And even if they don't sell out all the way, you can still do pretty well. Our Latin and regional Mexican shows are smashing, and which is great considering everything that's going on in the world, because a lot of the artists are from out of the country, and their crew and their bands and everybody have to get visas. So that's all worked out so far for the most part over the last couple of years. And I mean, we do extremely well on those, and it's probably, I think it's our number one genre this year as far as what we've booked. Out of the 78 shows I've confirmed already, the majority of them are Latin and regional Mexican shows. And then we've got a lot more classic rock this year, which is great. Usually that's really good for the demo that you want at the casino, but that's changing also. It's aging out. A lot of the artists are aging out. So what's classic rock and what's new now? It's going to be all the stuff from the 90s and late 80s that the artists are around. Billy Idol is by far a classic rock act now. He's been around for 40 years.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah, I know. But even the early 90s, mid 90s stuff is 30 years ago. So you're talking Goo Goo Dolls, Counting Crows, Matchbox 20, Third Eye Blind, that stuff, Rob Thomas, like all that mid 90s, even the early 2000s is old now, So that is now, that's why all these punk rock bands and pop punk stuff like Blink-182 and Fall Out Boy, Pierce the Veil, Dashboard, bands of that nature, they're big again, and they're headlining Aftershock and things like that, right? So Green Day's been around forever. They're a classic rock band now as far as I'm concerned. 94 is when their first big album came out, right? So it's crazy to me to think that some of my favorite artists are now 35. I mean, U2 is my favorite band of all time. They're going on their 50th anniversary. The first time they met is going to be in September in 76.
We're going to move to oldies.
I mean, they got new music coming out, and I wouldn't be surprised they don't release it on the day that they became a band, which was in 1976, in September 25th, I think. Wow. Yeah, so it's 50 years ago, and they're still around. They're only in their 60s, so they were very young when they started. They were 18 years old when they started, so that's what makes like the Killers and Coldplay for me. They've been around 20 years, 25 years, but they're still in their 40s. So those are going to be the groups that I'm listening to 20 years from now when U2 and those guys pass away, or Paul McCartney and those guys are gone. I mean, Paul McCartney just put out a new album.
I know.
And it's great. I listened to it. It's really good. He even has Ringo on one of the songs, which is cool. He didn't need to do that. But he's like, let's put out a new album. Rolling Stone's got a new album coming out. It's like, geez, dude. So I hope bands like U2 keep putting out music, but it's the new wave. Who's next? Who's going to be doing and filling up a room for me for the next 20 years? That's the sauce. You got to find it, and you got to figure it out.
You got to stay on that all the time, huh?
Yeah.
There was a gal that came in. She wanted to do a show on 93Q, and she said that in the Mexican music, they take banda, which is the old style, but they put new lyrics to it, younger lyrics. Yeah. And she said it's becoming very popular with a younger crowd. And I'd never heard of it.
We've had some of those artists, like Tito Double P. He sold out 2 nights. He's very much a young artist with new lyrics with the old mariachi style, old band. Codiciado is coming back, very similar. We had Majo Aguilar here. She's Pepe's niece. She is a mariachi singer and band. That was in May. And so you got these young artists singing old school stuff. A lot of the younger pop female group right now that's out right now, like Olivia Dean, she's huge. She won Grammy of the Year for Best New Artist this last year. A lot of the new female artists are going very old school, 50s, 60s jazz vibes. And there's a lot of really good ones. Ray is a really good example, Raye. She was up for some Grammys. She played one of our competing properties here in town. But she's jazzy and old school with the live band. Steven Sanchez, who's been here before and his guitar's outside, he's coming back, hopefully. Very old school. He's young, but he looks like an old school crooner. Wears the old big, huge pleated pants and the long suit coats and has old school lighting and had a whole Ed Sullivan style talk show vibe on stage and was doing like a live interview and then he'd go sing. It was really cool. And a lot of those artists are being put on festivals right now. I was at Bottle Rock last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and there was an artist that was on that lineup that was very old school jazzy, stuff like that. And I like that kind of stuff. There's actually some artists that have been around where I wish they would do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Christina Aguilera can sing her ass off, but she's still out there trying to be Christina Aguilera when she should go with the times, in my opinion. You know, I love Sade. I love that vibe, but no one's doing that.
I do too. All right, so I am at the Rocktane grocery store. It's like, and this is Laura, and Laura is one of the supervisors out here, right?
Yes.
And fortunately, she has a great job because she's not working the night shift.
I am not.
She's working days.
I'm working
so
days.
one of the things I want to do is they got a special appreciation day coming up for people that normally come out here. Their fuel is inexpensive, and so is their grocery store. There's all kinds of stuff you can stop by and, whoa.
We got all the new stuff.
Okay, they have the important stuff. I mean, who doesn't like donuts?
Yes.
This is great. So anyway, what I wanted to do was come out to the Rocktane and just do a little bit of a look around. But I also wanted to talk about, because I've come out here to go to a show or just to the casino, and my wife always says, "Why didn't you get gas?" So Laura, I know. So we're both veterans. So I have my card, my veteran card. So if you'll walk out with me and show me what I'm actually supposed to do.
Okay.
When I use a card, you know. Do you have people come in and do that all the time?
All the time. All the
time. All right, then this will be easy breezy.
Yes. All right.
So. All right, so Laura's going to show me what I should have been doing all along.
All right, so when you come in, you're going to push the Team and Tribal. You're going to insert your card. Please remove your card. You're going to put your PIN that they gave you on the casino.
Oh. Oh, welcome, valued customer.
And then you're going to insert your form of payment. You can either tap or insert.
Oh, okay, I'm tapping.
It's easier if you tap. And then you enter your PIN.
So I wanted to show this because I've come out here, like I said, and then, whoa, look at the price of gas.
Yes. What grade did you want?
I just get regular.
Regular? So you would have to take the hose off first.
I don't know how much I'm going to use. I think
And then you tap lightly. That's the important thing.
Oh, and that'll make it, okay.
Yes. Tap
And
lightly, and then you can go ahead and start pumping.
So this is really great because there's a discount, right?
Yes, there's
because
a
I use a
discount.
card. So if someone goes to if they came out to the casino to eat
Yes.
dinner or to play,
Yes.
they would go to the Players Club.
Players Club, and we also sign up new players cards in here.
So if they don't have a player's card, they can actually come out to get gas and get it here?
Yes, we can get them up here. We can sign them up
Just
here.
like that?
Yes, but they do start off with the red one, the star.
Well, this is not a
This
red
is
one.
a second level.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fish is second level. I'm just saying. Not everybody gets this. Kurt, I'm sure, would be red level. He's not ready for this.
Yes,
although
that
he's a
one
veteran
is
as well.
10 cents off a gallon. The star, which is a red card, is 5 cents off a gallon.
I can 10 cents. What's the next card?
The next card would be Icon, and that's 15 cents off a gallon. And then we have the X card, which is 20 cents off a gallon.
I don't know if I'm going to make the X card. I could be Icon. You know, fish, the icon. Yeah, nobody's buying that. All right. So anyway, I wanted to show people how this works because
Yes.
just like Laura just said, you could come out here, right? And then you're gonna, if you have a card, even what you say, even the brand new card,
Yes.
they would still get 5 cents a gallon off.
Yes.
Right? And it's worth it. Great restaurants out here, great opportunity. And then the other thing is, if you go to this little store, let's say you're on your way home.
Yes.
And you say, hey, I need to get milk or bread, or
We have milk.
Yeah, your wife calls and
Yes.
says, would you pick up some ice cream?
Yes.
Or
we
maybe
have ice
those
cream too.
donuts. Would you-
Yes. So we got all you want.
So yeah, so you can run and do that. I just think there's a great advantage to having something this convenient and then being economical. So Kurt will be getting his card today, but he only gets the red card.
Yeah.
5 cents a
5
gallon.
cents off. Hey, but
Hardly anything.
5 cents is still good.
Laura,
It's still
thanks so
good.
much for
You're
doing
welcome.
this.
You're
So when
welcome.
is Customer Appreciation?
June 12th.
The 12th. That's coming up right around the corner.
Yes.
And then so people will be able to come in and
They'll be able to come in. Yes.
And then you're
they'll
gonna
be
have-
having food, raffles.
I can do food.
Yes, we'll have food for you all.
All right. I'm just hoping like the food is like hamburgers.
I think they're giving out hot dogs and some maybe pulled pork sandwiches.
Oh, wait. There you go. Pulled pork coming in. So anyway,
Yes.
thank you, Laura. Here we
welcome.
are again at the Rocktane out at the Hard Rock. And I just did that so it can help you see not only is there going to be a Customer Appreciation Day, but also it's an opportunity for you, like I said, the convenience of coming by, grabbing something on your way home and getting gas at 5, 10, 15, 20 cents off per gallon.
Yes. And we even have flowers and cards, so take some flowers to your wife also. It's a plus.
There you go. See, now my wife's going to watch this and say, why didn't any flowers come home? Thanks, Laura. All right, thanks again.